You're listening to the Reaching Japan podcast. My name is James Miyashita. So glad that you're here today. In this podcast, we cover updates and news about what's currently happening in our lives and ministry. You can find us on the web at reachingjapan.com, facebook.com/reachingjapan, and twitter.com/reachingjapan. Now, if you haven't already, please leave us a review for this podcast so others can find it as well and join us on the journey of reaching Japan with the gospel. Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's what we're going to be talking about. So it's been kind of a few eventful weeks, and we're just now getting back to sending out podcast updates. Thanks for your patience with that. We had the annual Our Generation Missions Camp, had a great time there at the beginning of the month, and then the following week, I was actually sick for about 4 days, 3-4 days, but finally got that taken care of. For some reason, I'd gotten this sinus infection, and I think the doctor thought that I had COVID because of the medicine that he gave me, but it just wasn't doing a thing. So a few days later, went back and he gave me a different antibiotic, and finally, like overnight, it kicked in. And so really glad to finally be well again. I was running about 102 for about 3 days, so finally glad to be over that. Now, at the tail end of that, though, we had a guy come visit us from Alaska, of all places. Kind of crazy story there. I think I might have shared a little bit about him with you before, but he's interested in Japan, interested in missions, and so he was actually down here in the Atlanta area visiting the church, visiting with us, and spending some time at the training center. His name's Eli. I'll be praying for him. He's trying to decide what to do and what direction he needs to head in. So please be praying for him. And so we are just excited that we're almost to less than 2 months away from our departure. We actually had an opportunity come up. Our team is actually going to be going to Colombia at the end of August. So I'm going to be going down with them. So we had to move our tickets, but thankfully, because when we had purchased them, they basically waived the change fees. So that was a wonderful, wonderful time. So looking forward to going to visit Miguel Sanabria in Colombia, South America. They've been there for, I believe, about 3 or 4 years now. And the ministry has been going on. They've been kind of pushing through with this whole COVID shutdown, but finally we're able to get into the country. So looking forward to kind of seeing the ministry there and learning from that, because, you know, that's kind of 3 or 4 years down the road from where we want to be right now. So it's been great continuing to learn from the training center and the classes here, and also spending some time with our supporting churches. This past Wednesday, I was in Mississippi. Today we had the Our Generation Friday class, and then spent part of the afternoon at my pastor's house as we're looking at, you know, different possibilities for starting a church in the Nagoya area. So we're excited. Still plans going underway. As always, still asking you to pray for 2 big things. Location for our new church plant in Nagoya this year. Location where we are going to start. Please be praying that God will make that just abundantly clear of where we should start. And then preparation. Ask for God to prepare hearts prepare the hearts of the people there as we move there. So a really big, really big prayer request. And as always, please be praying for laborers to go to Japan. So thank you so much for praying for us. Thank you so much for keeping up with us. We always love hearing from you. And if you have any questions about what we've been up to, or what's going to be happening in these next couple months, as always, feel free to shoot us a message. Let us know. Contact us by email. My email is james@reachingjapan.com. Finally, kind of quick story here. It's been crazy. We're not sure what God's up to, but on Tuesday, I had 3 separate churches contact us about where we are with our support. And one of them was like, hey, we'd love to have you come in. And actually, 2 of them were very specific that they wanted to have us come in. And so thankfully, our support is doing well. But we're planning towards, you know, this first church later this year and then a second one next year. And so that's kind of changed a little bit of the numbers that we were looking at. But we're thankful that God is still working in people's lives and their hearts. And that all of our needs are taken care of. We cannot do what we do without you. So thank you so much for praying, for giving, for helping us along the way. And so just wanted to say a quick word of thank you as well. And we are excited to head back to Japan soon. So that's a little bit of what's been going on here. Now, if you have any questions or comments about what we talked about today, I'd love to hear from you. I will do my best to answer those questions on this podcast. You can always reach me via email. My email address is james@reachingjapan.com. That's james@reachingjapan.com. We are honored to serve under the direction of Vision Baptist Church and Vision Baptist Missions in Alpharetta, Georgia. If you're looking for a way to take your next step in ministry or missions, please reach out to me. Thanks for tuning in today. We will see you next time.